I wish good things to you who's watching this. Desejo coisas boas a todos que estão assistindo isso. I'm Alexey, and with me is none other than Bogdan Kurkan, one of the famous Carcassonne brothers and the winner of the Romanian Championships and former captain of Team Romania and former silver medalist of the Mind Sports Olympiads and all these other good things. Hi, Bogdan.
Hello, Alexey. Thanks for having me. I'm not that fluent in Portuguese, but yeah, hello everyone who's watching this, and I'm more than happy to be back.
Yeah, so we will be sticking to English mostly. Hi, Hugo. But after the fact, this video will be available with automatic subtitles. The subtitles are of pretty good quality. Hi, Victor. So we've gathered here to witness yet again the finals of the 2024, well, the finals of the Brazil Team Carcassonne Championships. Again, this time the 2024 edition. Two new teams have never reached finals before. Team Comuna Meeples, which may or may not be connected with the title of that team, may or may not be connected with political views of some of the team members, and Team Pangeia. Maybe the name could be derived from the desire for global Carcassonne dominance. And unlike the World Championship, this played in a bit of a smaller format, so we had 15 teams, which is still quite a lot, but the matches are not 5-on-5, they're 3-on-3, and all the other rules are still the same, 15 minutes per game, and each duel is best of 3. Whichever team wins more duels, namely 2 or 3 duels, that team gets crowned champion. So it's pretty simple. So we're gonna jump right simply into the first match. I believe the match of the captain Bernardo Silveira is the most interesting. That's Berna 1871. You can see all other players as well lined up. So you see, Bogdan, you're getting in the chat invitations to Brazil.
I need to follow that chat and to positively answer that.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Emily. Hi, Ian. I see we already have somebody rooting for Comuna and Pangeia as well. Hi, Roberto. So both teams are being these random issues, having them a couple of times earlier today. Hopefully we won't experience a lot of that throughout the rest of the evening, but let's see. The games have started already, probably, so we might need to start from the middle. There we go. We appear to be back. Hi, Fobar. Hi, Tim Rack. And interesting. I've never had this issue before. Okay, so we are indeed here. And a lot of moves have already been played in the first game. $13 points on the board for Fabio, who's playing with green meeples. 4 points for Berna, who's playing with red meeples. A very apt choice of color, given the team's name. So, Bogdan, what do you make sense of this position? Who has the advantage in your view?
Yeah, I hope that I'm audible. I don't know. Am I? Alexey, can you hear me?
You are to me, yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, then. Okay, so as you said, Fabio is ahead on the scoreboard, and he has also a good monastery that he started, almost completed. But yeah, Berna somehow took the road and almost equalized that monastery and tries to attack the ruin that just was built on top of the monastery. Now Fabio with the second monastery, which is a very good draw. Yeah, I don't know if I like or not this meeple on the road, which tried to control the city of Fabio, but they might end up in yeah, blocked on 1 point. Let's see how it goes. I would say that Fabio is a bit ahead for now, but let's see how it goes. The ruin and yeah, with the city that Bernard tries to complete now.
Yeah, well, excellent analysis, Bogdan. I have to agree with you, and it's particularly the two monasteries that should be my source of fear if I'm the fan of Pangeia, if I'm the fan of Comuna and Bernardo. But on the other hand, what Red has going for him is this ruin over here, which is guaranteed to be his, because even, let's say, if this square is somehow blocked, there's an unblockable connection here through a Dorito, so at least 12-ish points for the ruin will be there. Kind of difficult to fight for it. Also, Bernardo now is building up a city at the bottom. An interesting decision. So normally the way you want to build the cities is such that you start building from the north and then you kind of want to fill in the square last. But I presume that Red wanted to have more liberty, so that not only Doritos with a field but also Doritos with a road fit here. Now, kind of both players are playing very tightly, so Fabio starting a new city, Bernardo immediately equalizing, not allowing easy points, and as a result, only one meeple in hand in both of these players. Quick monastery points for Fabio. Interestingly, if somebody else draws a road, there will be no more sources for monastery points available. And the unorthodox city building approach of Berna pays off, and he's able to finish a 10-point city, 12-point city actually, with a Dorito with the road. This would not have been possible had he followed my suggestion of city building. Now Fabio continues his city, and Berna immediately uses his newly recovered meeple to invest here. So now the position is looking not too bad for Red.
Yeah, I would say so. So somehow he recovered, also with the city that he just closed, and yeah, he's in a good position now, despite of the monasteries that that Green has. And I really like that they don't let the opponent to build the cities alone, so they attack everything they can. This will end up in yeah, equalized cities in the end, and yeah, I think also the field will matter at some point. Let's see who has the meeple and the courage to meeple the field first.
Well, the fields will matter. Also, quite an important blocking move as Fabio adds 1 point to his monastery and Berna blocks over here. I believe there's still a couple of tiles, and by a couple I mean exactly two that fit over here. So what could happen? Somebody will drop a farm eventually. This sequence, even though there's still two tiles that fit here, this will mean that this 1 point city will likely not turn into a 4 point city because the same tile is needed here, and of course Green will use it in a place which frees a meeple for him without freeing a meeple for Red. And also, now that I look at it, there's a 1 point road, 1 point meeple over here. And they will either stay both at 1 point, or both will grow to 4 points, because the completion of the city would create this loop of 4 points. But it doesn't matter, Berna is the first on the field, so that was one of the farming opportunities. I was going to say that either Fabio is going to go over here and drop a farmer with tempo, or Berna is going to draw the straight line and drop a farmer with tempo. And the reason why it's important is because Berna is kind of short on meeple, so he has to wait for a straight line, or had to wait for a straight line, rather, to make sure that he can immediately not only drop a farmer, but also immediately recover the road meeple that he had before. So now Fabio with the scoreboard lead, but Bernardo with the early field control, and this field has a lot of green squares to start building up. So the representative of Pangeia will need to do something about it. Just dumps a monastery, a curvy tile for Bernardo. Let's see what he does. He has only one meeple, and which means that he cannot really make a particularly useful move. He cannot make a scoring move. But what he can make, he can shape the board with this move, maybe work with the field somehow, possibly going here and eliminating some field connection opportunities. But instead he chooses for what I like is the priority, trying to block Fabio's monastery. Even though Fabio has already has two meeples, having three would greatly help him win this game. So If Berna can prevent him from recovering a meeple, that of course would be big. So then that's a question. Bogdan, with this tile as Fabio, with the barbed wire tile, do you go over here and defend the monastery, or do you just disregard the monastery and simply take the quick points for the road?
No, I defend the monastery definitely, because there are still 2 tiles, and I really need that meeple for the later battle. So I think that Fabio needs to equalize also the ruin at some point, because the connection is imminent and it's cannot be stopped. And then he needs to equalize that and to fight also for the field. So he needs that monastery meeple back. So no quick points.
Bern now with the dagger tile has a bit more time on the clock than Fabio. Fabio has under 5 minutes, Berne has 7. There have been multiple farmers involved, and in fact Fabio managed to drop some more. But interesting that these farmers over here are still far away from the main field. And this begs the question. The main field's worth 9 points for Berne. And if Berne now continues his city over here and finishes his city, he will get a meeple back. But this will also create a route for these green farmers to get into the main field. And so the question is, do you want to do that? You kind of need the meeple, but also do you want to risk the field invasion? So if you're red here, Bogdan, do you actually complete this city, or do you just keep your meeple stranded with 1 point and try to keep these 2 green farmers at bay?
I would not complete the city, to be honest. And as you said, the main field is not that big, so there are counter fields already on the top right, as Berna already closed one city there, and I think there are plenty of city caps to still grow that field. And Fabio takes it proactively. I think that Fabio did a mistake by meepling that field on the wrong side. So somehow he was very ambitious, and he wanted to invade with both meeples the main field, which was anyway small. And I think he spent too many meeples on this. And see that already that field it's it's at least the same size with the main field that we called it.
Yeah, and also what's interesting, well, at least he got something out of it. So Berne's meeple is indeed trapped here with just 1 point. Well, is he going to finish his city? Probably not. And Green also has managed to invest a 9-point farmer at the top, so he has something going for him. I don't think that the Monastery of Green and the new Field of Green will be quite enough to compensate the scoreboard lead of Red and the ruin of Red, which Green ended up not attacking. Yes, so one thing that you mentioned, Bogdan, at some point early in the game is how Fabio needs to get his meeple back to attack the field and to attack this ruin. And these 2 meep farmers over here kind of show how much these meeples would really do a better job trying to equalize this 15-point ruin instead. Bernardo starting a new city at the top for 3 points. I'm not sure if it can be completed. I'm not sure if he even needs to complete it. It does look like it's going to be Bernardo's game. And only 38 seconds for Fabio. He will now need to calculate whether it makes sense to block this city or not. I'm not sure if there's a city cap remaining.
It makes, there are some city caps remaining, and it's also this parallel splitter. And this parallel splitter will bring Fabio on the main field as well, of course, closing 1 city for Bernardo, but bringing the meeple on the field. So caps are enough. Looks also this dagger, if I'm not wrong, it's also the parallel divider, as I call it.
And then this is something that Bernardo has in hand.
Not Bernardo, Fabio has in hand.
Yeah, Fabio has in hand. O split posto. Yes.
Exactly, and it's a perfect timing, because the meeple from Bernardo cannot be used anymore. So it's a perfect timing to draw this kind of tile. he will invade, so he will just reduce the the score with 6 points. And I think it worth doing this,
Yeah,
right?
he still needs to do it. He needs to.
This is,
4, 3, 2, 1. Make a move, make a move, make a move, make a move, make a move. No, 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 don't lose, don't lose, don't lose, don't lose, don't lose.
No,
He lost?
he lost?
I think he
don't
lost.
know.
Like, it's not
I see
us.
the
Our
red
connection's
cloud.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not sure
hope
what the
so, yeah.
rules are. I think it is a guaranteed loss, but I'm kind of interested to see who would have won this game otherwise. So Bernardo's saying GG, probably going to now show... he's probably going to say something about the time. No, he just says, let's go to the next game. That's it. But yeah, very unfortunate here that Fabio's running out of time. I don't think it would have been enough for him to win, even though these 12 points for the field and the right are really, really nice. It's actually going to be incredibly close. Bernardo has a 3-point city at the top. And is it a 1 point game?
I think
Yes,
so.
it is.
It's a 1 point game. Yes.
Only 1 point for Bernardo. So at least it's good to know
Crazy.
that the time was not a factor in this situation. So even though it should have been automatic loss for Fabio due to overspending his 15 minutes, it is on the board as well that the game is decided. Thank you, Tim Rock, for confirming that Vale Avalos, the one foreigner in Team Comuna, has defeated Marquiticho on table 2. So far, this looks excellent for Team Comuna, and either Marquiticho or Fabio will need to do something to prevent an easy win for the team with the red meeples. And do something he does by scoring 4 points in the second game. He's the first one to start. They're writing something in the chat. Maybe they need to restart this game. Yeah, I think they do need to restart this game, actually, because I think Bernardo's supposed to start this time. That's the way how Board Game Arena works. Basically, they need to keep restarting the game until the random draw of the starting player selects Bernardo to be first, because Fabio already started last game. Wait, that's not what Berne is saying. He's just saying good game to us. I'm not sure. Maybe they changed up the rules. Maybe it's so that that the random draw remains the random draw. But I'm pretty sure that it was Fabio who ended the game. So if Fabio ended the game, Fabio must have started the game as well in the first game. Yeah, so really not sure about that one.
Most probably. Yeah. But I think they should restart because it's a slightly advantage for the first player, unfortunately.
There is a slight
in this
advantage
game,
for the first player.
Yeah, let's see if.
Yeah, but I think that they might have changed the rules this year, because I played in this championship myself with the team Piratas de Carcassonne. We busted up in the group stage, but I played several matches. I definitely don't remember restarting any of the games, so I think they might have added just this extra element of luck, of who gets to be the starting player as a random draw every game, as opposed to the player's order being switched. Okay, Bern is being very non-Brazilian here, deciding not to drop a farmer on such an open field. I don't know what's that about. So the 1 point monastery is fine. The creation of a blocking platform against Fabio's city is fine. But where's the farmer?
Yeah, that's unusual. You're a bit surprised, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's nervous. Maybe he's feeling sad or sick. We never know exactly what's the case. But no farmer so far in the game. So not sure about the explanation. I mean, of course, it's completely acceptable not to place a farmer. It's just not something that we would expect. Bernardo with a Dorito tile. Probably going to start a new city somewhere, perhaps even next to his monastery. Just adding 1 point directly, then setting up some nasty attacks over here. Victor is saying in the chat, as far as I remember, in the rules this year, one person can start all 3 games if they're lucky enough. So yeah, that's very interesting. So it does save time to players so that you don't have to keep track and you don't have to restart the game every single time, but certainly adds a bit, a greater element of luck to a game where already not always everything is decided by skill only. So Fabio meeples a monastery. Bernardo does listen to our advice, start a new city, and very nice monastery for Fabio, also saving his city over here, controlling the monastery of Berna. The only issue is that in a situation like this, it's typically better to point the tile, the road tile away, just so that you can take advantage of the road's end yourself. Now in this situation, Berna could draw a bunch of tiles, such as the horse tile, that could give them those extra points. But overall, nice idea to meeple the monastery. Fabio now ahead on the scoreboard. Bernardo continue his city up top in a way which I slightly disagree. I probably would have preferred to turn it the other way. Yeah, the reason why I don't like this orientation is because eventually Red will need to play something over here to build up his monastery, and that will create a attacking platform against this square. So now it's not that easy to build up the monastery and the city safely enough. Okay, finally, I thought Bernardo was about to move countries. No, he isn't. He is going to drop a farmer in an extremely open field with already 2 completed cities on it and a 3rd and a 4th waiting to finish. So we are likely to have a big field fight in this one. Equal meeple counts. So a lot of things can happen. Fabio with a slight scoreboard advantage, 12 versus 8, and now a straight line, which he immediately uses to deploy a farmer. Bernardo with a city cap. What does he do? Does he take quick points over here? Or does he go over here at the top and expand his city? What do you prefer, Bogdan?
I prefer the quick points in this position, and yeah, do not leave this cap open, so only with the starting tile to be closed.
Yeah, so with this orientation, as Bogdan is suggesting, I really like this move, also because there's some backdoor chances of drawing a series of triple city tiles and actually blocking the square and even blocking Fabio's city meeple, so that will be an additional threat. And of course, 3 points is nice. If you go over here, that's a move that's worth only 1 point, and we don't even know if that city is going to be completed. Because eventually Fabio is going to place a tile over here, the square could be blocked, in which case it will be in Berna's interest to actually keep the city open in as many sides as possible rather than closed. Oh, but another interesting move, I have to say I like it too.
Yes, I also like it because it prevents dropping the second farmer on the field, so I really like it, and also restricts the city.
Exactly. And that idea, Berna can still do it. He can still go over here, score the 3 points, and renew that blocking idea. And of course, once he completes the city, there will be an attack against this city too. So in this particular game, meeple counts will matter more than usual just because there is such a big open field. So there is a possibility to use that farmer to overrun the field and score, 6, 9, 12. I don't know how many points this field is going to be. I'm going to say like 24, 27. That would be my guess. But let's see what happens as Bernardo is choosing what to do with this straight line. I think a slight misstep choosing to take 3 points at the bottom. Maybe he didn't want to take the 3 points at the top in order not to create some vulnerabilities next to his monastery. But the upside of having more danger to this to the green city, I think, was totally worth it. Fabio continued his city at the top. Bernardo cannot really disrupt it unless he's willing to invest an entire triple city tile and sacrifice a couple of points to do this. Well, maybe now it's time to take 3 points over here. This makes the monastery a bit more vulnerable, but so be it. 3 points are 3 points are 3 points, that, if you ask me. Or maybe if you're Bernardo, do you want to actually start and break the city at the top instead? Or do you just peacefully take 2 points into a different location? What do you prefer here, Bogdan?
I will take 3 points because there are still 2 daggers in play to rescue my monastery. But he chose to take 2 points and give yeah, 1 point for the city, 1 point for the monastery, so it's 2-point move. And
Yes,
Fabio in the meantime closed the 8-point city.
Exactly. It's already +7 for Fabio. Yeah, so I definitely prefer the point scoring move, but it has been in line with Bernardo's approach. I think he really wants to keep the meeples equal. He really going to be prioritizing the field here. And maybe his idea is that green finishing the city at the top is not even such a big deal if he's able to just put his meeples to good use. So green is trying to block red city. This could actually backfire if red draws something over here and brings green meeple into the city as well. Red finishes his city, edges closer at the scoreboard, now trying to get some sort of road tile to create a disruption over here. In the meantime, green is preparing to put a tile over here at some point to free up his monastery, or at least prepare his monastery for release. Still 5 vanilla city caps that fit into the center. Green now successfully blocks red city, but at a price. He also makes his own city a little bit more vulnerable. Probably a great time to start doing something about this if you're Bernardo, maybe going at the top, starting a new city. Another possibility is going over here and starting a 4-point road, kind of using this city cap to create an additional blocking platform against green. A crazy but existing possibility is going over here at the left, starting a blocking attack, even a more ferocious blocking attack against green. And red indeed makes a similar move, starting a new city on the left, but meepling the city rather than the road. What do you think about this move, Bogdan?
I don't especially like it, so I would have preferred to start a city on top, because there are only one dagger of a kind, and yeah, that would be a big danger for Fabio. Here, leaving the 4-point road instead of starting the city, I think it just neutralizes the city. So if I start the city but I give to my opponent a 4-point road, then I think it's a 0-point move if I don't close that road myself, right? So let's see who will close that 4-point road. Nobody yet, but I wouldn't do it. It's just a risk that I don't take. And I think that just Bernardo will do this now.
You think the 4-point road? But then his meeple is more vulnerable. Because then, like, with the Dorito tile, he could be connected to this semi-blocked square, which is connected to this blocked square.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's the issue with a move like this. You kind of want to leave this city cap alone. And the problem with that meeple placement is also the fact, in addition to all the stuff that you said, Bogdan, in addition to all that, there's also a problem that it's actually easier for Fabio to defend his meeple. All Fabio needed to do was draw a simple Dorito and put it over here like this, tying the fate of the red meeple here together with the fate of the green meeple over here. I tried to pull something, pull this off, what Bernardo was doing in a game at the 2022 Mind Sports Olympiad in person against Nick Basti, known as Ever, and basically he did that sort of thing against me and then ended up winning like +15, exactly just by drawing a Dorito and saving his vulnerable city at the expense of my city. So something similar happens, except instead of both opponents getting blocked, they just both getting very nicely defended. So Bernardo getting his city, and Fabio getting his. So no meeples were harmed in the making of this video.
Yeah, fine. But I think that Bernardo missed to block the 1-point meeple that it caped with the starting tile.
Right,
so he,
yes, with this move over here. So he got maybe like a little bit greedy, just trying to finish his own city and dropping a farmer. I think his priority was just really keeping the shape of the board such that he can always be ahead on the field. So what I like about this move is that after Bernardo connects, he will be able to completely control the field. It's very, very difficult to reconnect as well. Well, now not so difficult. Maybe Fabio can actually go over here and drop a farmer if he so chooses. Not the best move perhaps, but he wants to do that maybe. Hi, Pablo. Thank you, Fobar, for confirming that Carlos. Carlos also won the first game. Yeah, Carlos is an interesting player whom we didn't talk about. He actually doesn't play on Board Game Arena much. He happens to be somebody who plays with Bernardo a lot in person, so his rating on Board Game Arena might not be reflective of his true ability. So if I have a time, we will catch a glimpse at Carlos's game, but so far it is just Team Comuna winning. Will Pangeia get at least a game in this? Yes, we will, is saying Fabio as he gets the lead on the scoreboard and equalizes the farmer in the north. So there is a little side farming battle going at the top. You know how there's an A storyline and there's B storyline in a TV show. This is the B storyline of this game. As Bernardo gets another city cap, very nice opportunity to score 4 points over here, or maybe just going over here to block Fabio's monastery. I can block the monastery later, says Bernardo. I just want the points. Fabio with a crossroad tile, chance to score 3 points, but that would let in red into the farm. He could say that, you know, red's going to be in the farm anyway, so we might as well just take the 3 points, but actually I prefer waiting. I prefer just taking 2 points somewhere else, and then later on, we can use this platform here as a field connection. If we take something like a curve, or another useless tile to go over here, we can drop a farmer here as green, and then connect like that through an unblockable connection through a crossroads. Because this quadruple tile is a big deal. Once it has been drawn, this means that red cannot use the quadruple crossroads to cut a potential farmer off. So, green should be recognizing that there's a way to equalize the field in a very efficient way. There's still a couple of crossroads remaining, like through here like this. Right, Fabio in the meantime gets a new road probably. Doesn't get a road, just get a monastery and meeple back. Although this tile helps Beren expand his ruin, and it also very nicely covers up his field. So it's kind of difficult at the moment actually for Fabio to do something about the field, but given his scoreboard lead, Bogdan, do you think Fabio has a route to win this game by just simply outrunning red, or do you think that Fabio will need to drop a farmer eventually?
I think Fabio has a chance to win this game without equalizing this 15-point field or 18-point maybe field. So there are also other fields, there are monasteries in play, and I think he can also wait and not start. Okay, meepling the 6. It's also fine. It's also fine because this field can eventually grow. There are not so many city caps with road remaining, if I'm not wrong. So this field might be a bit of closed, but let's see if Fabio manages to draw. I think it's one Dorito and one city cap with crossroad. Let's see. I would wait. If I were Fabio, I would wait and not fight. Look, there's the second monastery. Very good. And I would wait and maybe find a way to win without equalizing the field in the middle.
Yeah,
which he does, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very nice strategic approach here, Bogdan. And as you said, very nicely predicted the monastery placement. And just as you were saying this, Fabio drew one for 7 points. Now, 7.7 points here. This farmer is nice, but I think there was an improvement on this move. So you're saying that this field is really closed. There was a way of making it open by dropping the straight line over here and dropping a farmer here. And that would accomplish several purposes. That would leave this farm a little bit more open. That would disrupt Baroness Road a little bit more, and that would also leave the off chance of getting a road monastery and uniting all the fields with this guy. So I think this is part of Green's plan, of course, to maybe draw the road monastery and actually put it over here at the end of the game, finishing Red's roads. But you also got to prepare that. If only this straight line were over here, then this square will be slightly restricted, and it's slightly easier to make sure that that road monastery actually does matter. Another thing that maybe Green could have thought about is just taking this road. Just because Berna was having only one meeple in hand, once Red drew this fantastic scoring tile, Red got 5 easy points, and by meepling this road ourselves from Green perspective, there was a chance to prevent Red from drawing it. But on the other hand, Red would have capitalized from the road end by finishing his own road. So this tile would have been damaging to Green no matter what. Now an interesting move, and very quickly the decision is made for Green. So I was thinking between these 4 points or just trying to meeple something new, maybe... or trying to expand one of his monasteries. He decides that he's gonna need meeples. And Fabio does get a meeple from the monastery, and I think he will be now looking into potential fields connection. So certainly there's a connection available through the outside of a curve or through a city cap like this. There's also a very interesting fields connection available with 2 curves connecting and prolonging Red's road, but also bringing this farm into the field. So very interesting how this geometry works. Either a single road monastery or a pair of curves, which may or may not be remaining in the deck. I kind of feel that maybe not so much.
It's only one, I think. It's only one curve remaining. But actually there are Doritos with curves, so it's one simple curve, but yeah.
Oh, so interesting. So we do have the road monastery, but how is Fabio going to use it? Now he has the time. He has 6 minutes on the clock to Berna's 4, and he really, really needs to think here. Berna just played his last meeple threatening a 10-point city.
Block the city, because there are no city caps with road on the left. Of course, the Dorito with road is there. But I think it's quite important. Okay, you can connect the meeple, right, and give also one meeple in hand to Bernardo, which is not great. And he threatens to close the city and also have a meeple in hand to do some other stuff.
Exactly. So if you do this, you give him a point, you expand the field, and then just help him to reconquer the field, essentially, making it so that the field is super, super decisive. Yeah, so possible moves include blocking the city, which I really, really like, capitalizing on the number of city caps available. Going over here, scoring 4 points for a road is also an option, maybe trying to block on the next move. That would also do something bad to this road meeple a little bit. Meepling a 7-point monastery is maybe a possibility if there are tiles enough to finish. Meepling the 7-point road would also maybe allow it to get a straight line plus curve combination to connect to the farm like this. And one of the reasons why it might be okay with Red finishing our city. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Very interesting, and I think a massive, 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 gigantic mistake. But maybe I'm gonna be proven wrong, so that's one way to use a monastery tile. Why not take 4 direct points? Maybe instead we invest an entire meeple and get a 3-point field. I know he wants to get a city cap and connects to this 9-point field, still doesn't seem to justify the investment of a meeple. And one of the reasons it seems to be the case is because we actually maybe some dark twisted side of Green wants Red to finish the city, because if Red finishes the city, he's gonna get his 10 points, but he's gonna give back the easiest field connection platform ever.
Yeah, it's not happening, unfortunately. Yeah, so it was an unfortunate move with the road monastery. Now, this placement is very safe for Bernardo, because all the city caps that are in the game are fitting there. So I think it's a very good move. And this threat is really big. So closing this huge city on his own field and also meeple back, I think look, this happens. And I think it's just the game.
Well, but we're about to get fireworks, because Bernardo did finish the city. Bernardo was ahead on the scoreboard, but this city cap, this piece of city lying around, is another connection platform to the field. So at some point, maybe not just now, just go over here calmly. Fabio could go here and drop a farmer. Is he gonna go it now? Yeah, he does now. I think he's a little bit too desperate too soon, or is he? Do you think it's time for some drastic measures, Bogdan?
It's not a complete block. He can attack again the field. He cannot completely block this attack. That's one part, and he can attack again the field if he wants. But if I were Bernardo, I would just close my road and maybe possibly with the road up, just to have extra points for the next moves. If I draw, I don't know, the Dorito with road, and then maybe take care of the field. But I think I can win, even if the field is equal here. I think I win because I have this this ruin. I also have the two meeples that I can play with. I think I'm in a better position if I'm not completely wrong. Even if I lose the field, the 9-point field on top.
Even with 9-point field.
Yeah.
And the 7-point monastery and the 6-point field over here.
Yeah, because I have two meeples in hand, I can close another 5-point road easily in the next turns. There are plenty of curves, I think. And I can attack again the field if I want. There are plenty places to attack.
And
what do you think?
Appears to do this now. Instead of going over here and attacking, neutralizing this people, he wants to go through the outside of a curve. And I think it works really well.
Yes, it works. It works perfect, because there are no crossroads in the game.
Exactly, and there's still road Doritos available.
2, I think, or 2, 1.
Exactly,
yeah, 2.
And a curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and a curve.
Crazy.
So Fabio now is going to have a massive dilemma. I guess he still needs to go here to get his 9-point field at the top. He kind of needs to realize that the main field may not be enough. And also, like, he's losing the main field, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
So maybe just take the 9 points and be happy. And then somehow...
And that's... Yeah, sorry. I wanted to say that this is the last Dorito without road, so it's his last chance to grow that field.
Yeah, it seems that you need to do that. Yeah, connecting here. So, like, if you're connecting there at the top, like, what you're really hoping for? You're hoping that you're going to draw all the 3 curves? I can tell you what the chances of that. It's 5%. It's exactly 5%. It's not a lot. And he doesn't draw all 3 curves. So, and look at how brilliant the Bernardo's move. This was 100% win for him. So you see, Bernardo started a new city, saying that my only chance to lose if you draw is you drawing 3 curves. In case you draw 3 curves or 3 curvy tiles, I am bound to draw a city cap. So that's why I'm starting a new city. So brilliant end game here from Bernardo, just controlling the game with an iron fist.
Yeah. And I think the major mistake was this road monastery, and Fabio chose to fight for a field which was too small for this game. This was the decisive moment. I think it was a very good tile in hand. He could restrict the city on the bottom, but yeah, that was it. But very, very instructive from Bernardo. I really liked his vision, his strategy in this game. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it's especially the long-term planning. So, like, on some little tactical things we might disagree, but it's just like the idea of, I want to control that big field. I want to be always ahead. I always invade it. And that move in particular, like, what a way to guarantee himself a victory, pretty much, and just trying to create all these threats in different places. This city, that city, this road, and Fabio's congratulations, Bernardo, rightfully so, as Team Comuna is already getting themselves on the match scoreboard. Fabio will enjoy his 6-point field at the top. Yeah, so I think that was probably really the main mistake of Fabio, just using the road monastery like this. But even without this, Berna just showed some class. Alrighty, congratulations to Team Comuna. Still, some work needs to be done. Let's go now to table 3, to the decider, if it hasn't been finished yet. Between...
we have 2 deciders, I think, also on table 2, but let's go to table 3. You said that Carlos is worth watching.
Yes. Wait, yeah. Carlos M2005, so 1-1, wait. Carlos EstevamLucius. Yes, so 1-1.
Mm-hmm. We have anyway decisive game also on table number 2, so it's pretty contested, this match.
Yeah, so well, it's looking good for Carlos as he's 40 points ahead on the scoreboard. He does have this blocked meeple for 1 point, so Estevam does have something going on for him as well. Roughly even time situation, and very nice building here, starting a new road by Lucius. Red's dropping some early farmers could backfire a little bit as there's this 9-point field untaken. Somebody could get a straight line, take these 9 points, and actually cut off these 2 red farmers away from the action. Although this farmer sitting nicely at 9 points over here, this farmer could maybe connect over here and get 9 points here too. So lots of small feeds. Very, very interesting game here. Yeah, so red is trying to do just that, starting a new city and being 1 tile away from securing this field over here. Estevam continues his blocked city, which is a move I slightly disagree with because it's a shielded tile. It's better to start a new city that he would intend to complete. And look at this, Carlos going to drop yet another farmer. So 9-point field here, 9-point field here, 9-point field here, and none of them can connect. Yeah, and this 3-point field I have an issue with, because it is so likely to just stay at 3 points. The main issue with that is that there is only 0 squares, 0 tile fit into the square. All 4 starting tiles have been used up. And this seems to me like not the most profitable investment of a meeple. However, Estevam has so many of them. Maybe his idea is just to use his meeples as cannon fodder, as Carlos is thinking what to do with this curve. So, Bogdan, what do you think would be the potential plans for this side, and whose position do you prefer? Do you prefer red with the scoreboard lead and already the well-invested farmers, or do you prefer blue that can take advantage of this 1-point block meeple and develop his ruin at the top? And, of course, the long-term meeple advantage.
Yeah, I think Carlos has the advantage on the scoreboard, and also the farmers, which are very well placed. But Estevam can build a comeback, actually. So he has this ruin, which is not bad, 9 points already. And I think he has a chance, but he needs to carefully think about what to do with the meeples, not to maybe over farm. The farms are not that big, right? Maybe we have this field with 15 points. Is it a 15 points? Actually not, because it cannot be connected. So the farms are very small. I would not fight for 2 against 1, right, for the 9-point field. I would prefer to point somewhere else. There are not so many monasteries left. This is one aspect, so he cannot easily receive points from monasteries. There are plenty of city caps, so he can actually build the field on top and extend the field on top. There is the splitter who could be used there. And I think yellow has a chance, so it's not lost, but he needs to be careful with what he does with the meeples, because he meepled that 3-point field, and that was not a good investment, as you also mentioned. He needs to be careful. Yeah.
He does, yes. Well, this investment could be justified maybe in the future if he gets some splitters. So there is 1 splitter available, actually, 1 and 1 only. But, I guess maybe it's better to get the splitter first and then drop a farmer than rather drop a 3-point farmer and then try to make it worth it. I think maybe this move might have had the idea of getting into this farm, and maybe it's later that Estevam realized that there's no tile that fits anymore in this square. So far what I see, red is playing really, really well. Red actually managed to block this square, and so blue just barely made it into this 9-point field through this tile over here. And blue now trying to overrun this field, which makes sense, but it could backfire. if Carlos finds some sort of tile that could maybe block the access of this guy to what has become the main field with 12 points, still due to Carlos' scoreboard lead and the well-invested farmers in other locations, it does seem to me that 12 points are just not gonna cut it. So Estevam needs to find something else as well. In addition to your plan, Bogdan, yeah, so it's a great point that there are not many monasteries remaining, and this certainly favors red rather than blue, because the side who's behind and the side who has more meeples could definitely use a 5-point monastery over here. That would support the building up of this ruin as well. That would be a nice combo. 2 of them, but 2 is not 3, 2 is not 4. Red is fighting for the field, trying to equalize, does not want to leave things up for chance. Now a big mistake here from Blue, playing way too fast. Of course, was way better to score 3 points, because there's no real point in invading into the main field after Red has equalized, and certainly not with a tile that's worth 3 points, certainly not when you're behind the scoreboard. So it just appears simply to be the speed of play. Also, Carlos just drew the tile that Esteban really wanted to develop his field at the top, and now actually Red needs to think here. Is it worthwhile to drop another divider into his field? And he decides no, because actually he does not want to develop his field. That's why he just dumps the divider. And I really like the strategic approach, because he realizes that he does not need to grow the field in order to win. Red is just happy to keep things as they are. But Estevam's getting something, so he's scoring a 2-point road, which clearly shows that he's still hoping for a non-existing starting tile, sadly. There is no other explanation why he wouldn't just take 3 points over here and threaten Red's meeple. Red will take 3 points on the other hand. So yeah, it might come down to tile counting. A monastery tile for blue, and it's not meepled. Another oversight, it does appear. Yeah, based on the speed of play, it's Estevam might be tilting, but this game still had hope, at least for a couple of tiles ago. Now I'm not so sure, but maybe
yeah. Now it's quite late, so he didn't meeple the monastery, as you said, with a 5-point monastery, and now 6-point monastery with the extension of the ruin. I think he missed some chances to score easy points, right?
Yeah.
And now he has 3 meeples with, I don't know, 5 tiles that he will draw. Where to score points? Like, okay, you attack a field of 12 points or 9 points, whatever, but you need more than that, right? So I think it's a bad situation for Esteban.
Yeah, and speaking of attacking the field, it's something that I think he might have done on this turn. On his turn, he actually might have dropped a farmer here and connected to this 9-point field, because there's still a vanilla city cap, and if you're lucky enough, you get a vanilla city cap here. There might be, I think, something like a dagger remaining. Yes, there is one, and maybe if he's lucky enough, he can draw, can finish that city, drop another farmer if Carlos is not careful, and connect yet another farmer, and that probably would do it. That would gain him 9 and then 12, 21 points worth of stuff. Yeah, Red is trying to prevent exactly that. Esteban is going to drop a farmer, maybe, trying to connect to 9-point field. It does appear to be the case, and it does kind of work, because Carlos gets a tile that gets him to finish his city, or maybe not. Maybe Carlos can just go here.
Yeah, of course, he will not close the city for sure, but there is also the Dorito with road, if I'm not wrong, which, does.
And you are not wrong. So this might be an argument for actually closing the city, just to make sure that, if Blue's getting into the field, fine. At least I, Red, am getting something out of it. 4 points, meeple back, and a new shiny 5-point road with a couple of road and tiles still available.
Yeah. 2 horse tile and 1 simple crossroad, which is really good, so I would meeple the road. So actually it's not bad. So I would close the city. Okay, let this guy in the field. It's 9-point field. It's not bad. And I take also the road, which has a good chance to be closed soon. I don't know. I would take it. What other options? It's 4 points, right? Quick points that Carlos can grab.
Yeah, and also like these 4
What
points, by
else?
the way, they open a field connection platform, so maybe we don't want to do that
Correct.
necessarily. I mean, Carlos
Correct. Yeah.
could grab this ruin as well. Seems just a tad too early to do stuff like this. Going over here and meepling this city, hoping for the last remaining city cap, also kind of seems reckless. And he does
Okay.
go for the city. Whoops.
Meeple the road.
Meeple the road. Always meeple the road. That's, by the way, a very inspired move. Because Estevam
exactly.
had the road Dorito anyway. Which you're probably going to use to meeple the road anyway. So I guess this is the first and only mistake that we've seen from Carlos, I think. Because it's just a very, very obvious road to meeple. Not only does it have a chance to be completed, but also it's 5 points, which is great in the end game anyway.
And if you take 5 points and your opponent doesn't take, it's already a 10-point move, right? It's a delta of 10 points. So
it's pretty much like a 10
Mhm.
point mistake or something very, very close to that. But at least, you know, overall the spirit of finishing the city, that's the right part. It's just, I think, you know what might have happened? Because he was thinking like whether it's worth finishing the city and letting your opponent into the field and all this stuff. He might have just simply not thought about that road. And then I assume like after Blue meepled it, Red was like, oh yeah, I should have done that.
Oh no, what is this?
Okay, so I think that
actually-
Carlos thinks that he's Gustavo Arruda. He is now trying to accomplish, to repeat the feat of Gustavo from the 2023 World Team Carcassonne Online Championships, where Gustavo managed to connect to the Taiwanese players back-to-back farm, like basically some just ridiculous field connection like this, except that in case of Gustavo it was completely calculated and justified. Here it's I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a 9-point field in the end. Okay, he can actually drop this straight line here, and he has also the simple curve and the crossroad, which works. But I don't know if it makes sense. So you have a massive advantage on the scoreboard. You have a scoring tile, like just grabbing 3 points and that's it. Or I don't know, the ruin, which was, I don't know, 7 points. So you had a lot of chances and not risking the field invasion. Of course, this is a natural move to continue your plan. But now Esteban could take the... okay. Yeah, but I think it's very probable that it's only this vanilla cap, or look, this
the curve for Carlos, so he does end up connecting to the field through a very convoluted method, but in fact that was still not going to be justified because that will make him not 9 but 7 points. Wait, so what's the point then? Okay, so I think he's just being a bit cheeky here, realizing I can meeple whatever I want, so I'm gonna win anyway. Or maybe just time pressure. No, I'm not sure if in English there's a saying, but there's a Russian saying "победители не судят," which is like you don't judge winners. Like if he wins, all his moves were correct. So
crazy, but
yeah.
What the heck is this?
I think it's a miscount. So it's kind of like relying on your opponent.
Yeah.
So he saw that Carlos did not connect to the field. So he was kind of thinking that, aha, so Carlos might know that there's a curve still available. So I have to invade over here to neutralize the field. But there isn't a curve available.
Okay, so it worked. So it completely confused the opponent. And yeah, you neutralized also meeple from the opponent, ending up with 0 point. Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting game, man.
So don't underestimate the psychological warfare component. So yes, like before the final tiles where Carlos got in real time trouble, by the way, 3 seconds only remaining for the newer player to board game arena. Before the end game slight panic, he actually played kind of a flawless game, like massive control. So small fields everywhere, 3 different 9-point fields, so that Blue is not able to gain any massive points. and then just ended up controlling the space very nicely. Of course, at the end, trying to steal a 9-point field is probably just a bit of fun, perhaps, or a bit of nerves, or short on time. But anyway, he does get the job done. The decider has won, and Team Comuna will take the title this year. And the player who delivers the title has barely played like 20, 30 games on Board Game Arena. So yeah. That's,
do we have time to go to Valle? Maybe they just have the last moves in the decisive. I know it's not decisive for the match, but maybe we can also see some final moves there.
Let's do, of course, just so that all players get some exposure.
Yes.
And, it would be nice if maybe Marquicho tries to make the match a little bit close, but it does not appear to be the case as he's down on the scoreboard. Valle, with her traditional blue meeples, is finishing a monastery and expanding her scoreboard lead. She controls all the farms. It looks like it's headed towards a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah. There is no starting tile, for example, so this road meeple is completely blocked. From the left, this is one thing, and also it's a massive advantage on the scoreboard with the meeple being tight. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going into this direction, but yeah, let's see the progress here.
Still got a fight. That's a good scoring tile. You can go over here. Yeah, exactly. Setting up to finish your city. If not with 2 Doritos, which is not that likely given that there are only 3 Doritos remaining, but maybe just 2 city caps. That would certainly be a nice addition. So maybe going now, either over here, trying to set up the completion of a city, or over here, which is even better because that protects the field invasion, which might be necessary for this red meeple. Red will still be at a minority in this farm, but there will still be a chance to recover. Maybe getting a straight line, dropping a farmer here, like many opportunities still for red, as Valle is trying to block red city so far with limited success. 6 points probably going to be added to the Spanish player's scoreboard immediately. Or not immediately.
The thing is that there are high chances to close this city because there are triple city tiles, a lot of them, I think. I don't know, 5 city triple, and also some Doritos. So I think it's a good chance to come back on the scoreboard for Marquicho. I don't know.
It's possible. Yeah, I think you nailed it. Yeah, Marquicho. So it is, like this city is, I think, a bit underrated. It could get to 20 points easily. Also, a nice scoring tile to either take 2 points or maybe just meeple this road. That's also an opportunity. Chooses to take the immediate points. As Valle is thinking what to do with this curve, she's either going to start a loop road or maybe just try to abuse the city a little bit, or at least make it harder for red to continue. And as she thinks, we need to catch up on the chat. Hi, Bernardo. Congratulations on your win. We were watching our second game. The farming was just so spectacular. Congratulations to the entire team. Hi, Thiago. Hi, Reinaldo. Thank you for sharing the fact that Bernardo is on a roll here. Also winning the local league of Minas Gerais, which I happened to visit with the greatest pleasure back in August. So let's see what Marquicho does with this road monastery tile. So it looks like a good scoring tile. On the previous move, had he meepled this road, he would have already been able to go over here, get 6 points, maybe even start a new farm, which is worth doing. So sadly, he will be probably stuck with just 5 points. Or going here is also an option, maybe. Trying to get a curve and a straight line and actually complete that monastery. Is that something that appears to be worth doing to you, Bogdan?
Yes, why not? Also this, because you could draw the second monastery, and with a straight line you close
Right.
them both. Which
This is
yeah.
way better. Oh, okay, this is just
Here you-
great vision. So he does lose his city, but it's okay. We can live with that. You know, Valle is still forced to spend the city cap. Red sets up another monastery. If he can get the other monastery soon, bam, 18 points on the scoreboard just like that. The next big problem for Red to solve, of course, would be this field, which is currently tied, but this blue meeple is lurking. It will invade the field inevitably, in which case it will be quite difficult for it to find a platform for re-invasion, because this field looked pretty close. Valle is now dropping city caps, adding more and more stuff. Marquicho another scoring tile though. Good idea to get 4 points, which he immediately does. Running really short on time, 4 minutes with 18 tiles remaining. That's not good. And finally, the Spanish player connects. So that's going to be a 12-point field that belongs to her and to her only. So some effort will need to be made on just creating field connection platforms.
It's a permanent block here if he manages to see it. If the road goes into the city, there are no starting tiles and no, like this. That's a permanent block.
And he manages, very nice tile counting and tile tracking as well from Marquicho.
Which is not bad. So blocking one meeple at one point, maybe you equalize the field at some point, you draw the evil hamster.
Yeah, actually, if you draw the evil hamster, maybe you could win without the equalizing the field. Is that crazy? Like if you just go here, take a 6-point field here, go here, take another 6-point field, take a city cap, get a meeple back, stuff like this, clean off this city cap. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but don't leave easy points for...
Well, I can understand him. I mean, his idea is, of course, that he's leaving easy points for himself. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have other plans. You might, draw the monastery. You might draw other stuff that
That's true.
You will use.
Well, sadly, he's now breaking his own city. That's something he should have refrained from doing, actually. So a bit exhibiting impatience here, possibly time trouble. But he made a move that made it harder for himself to complete the city, but easier for Valle to complete her monastery. So that could backfire real quick. Like, he's gonna draw a city cap on his next turn. I told you!
Yeah, crazy, yeah.
This always happens. Oh, Bogdan, we had like such a spectacular moves early on in the Champions League match between David 44 of Hungary and Chomps of Belgium.
Yeah. Of Czech Republic, I think.
So basically, David made a huge blunder, an accidental self-block of a city, and then on his very next move, he drew a city cap that would have completed him the city had he not blocked himself. So it was like an extremely painful blunder worth like 15 points or something like this. So
Crazy.
Here it's not a big blunder, but just a minor mistake, but it won't matter as it's despite Marquicho's best efforts to stir some volatility in this position, the first monastery goes to the Spaniard, who immediately gets 9 points on her scoreboard, 9 points on Marquicho's scoreboard, and thus the difference is not getting any smaller.
Yeah, that's tough. I think that was it. So the only hope was that evil hamster for Marquicho. Then, yeah, what is this?
It's a hallucination. It happens to the best of us. Of course, he's thinking he's connecting to the field. You're disappointed. You just lost to the evil hamster. But
Yeah.
I've done this sort of stuff before. Or actually, no. He's trying to get a straight line, curve, and with this sequence connect to the field like this. So it's still possible. Straight line, curve.
Is it?
Yes.
But
well, I don't think these tiles are actually remaining in the deck, but technically, it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. technically it is, but it's, I don't know, okay. By goes this this door. Then what to do? Maybe grabbing the 6-point ruin with few tiles remaining.
Or just adding 4 points to his own city makes sense. Vi, I guess, needs to break it, because I believe there might be one city cap remaining and one city cap only. I see the dagger available.
Okay. Yeah, the left-handed dagger. Yeah.
Yes, the left-handed dagger. Or, which is so confusing, because in Brazil they use the opposite. The left-handed dagger in Brazilian Portuguese is baixo direito.
Okay. Yeah,
because in their mind, you orientate the city cap at the bottom.
At the bottom, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I hope they get to use a different name. Like, the name that I prefer is just punhal, which is like the translation of the word for dagger.
It's a good naming, I think.
Yeah,
it's a good name. Okay, 6-point ruin, and then this will just reduce the difference, the point difference.
Yes, finally at least finishing some constructing project and getting a bit closer on the scoreboard. Via will get 2 extra monastery points and a meeple back, which he will no longer be able to use. Valiant effort from Marquicho, gonna come a little bit short. Also not the best tile, actually. 3 points is the best that I can see. So losing the final coin flip, if Red were to get this curve, he would be able to go over here for 6 points to cut the bleeding a little bit, but it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and a clean sweep, 3-0 for Team Comuna, really managing to come up on top in the field with a bunch of strong teams for the first time ever. Let's see.
Yes, congrats. It was a very strong play.
Yeah, so 3-0 is the result. 6-2 in games. Looks like a very well-deserved win, and we saw both Carlos and Bernardo control their games very well. Once we joined Valle, it was kind of already difficult territory for her opponent, but I'm pretty sure she must have done something to win the first game and to get into such a dominant position here. 33 points, the final difference gets slightly over 100.
Yep.
And with that, we'll probably be wrapping up our stream. I know that there are some physical trophies made for one of the teams. I'm pretty sure will be some happy memories for them. We shall meet again in September for a new Brazilian Team Championships, hopefully with even more teams and even greater competition. Thank you so much, Bogdan, for joining and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you for inviting me, Alexey. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and also great that we have so many viewers today. In case you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're interested in more competitive Carcassonne content like this. Make sure to meeple the like button if your favorite team won, or if your favorite team didn't win, then meeple the like button to console them. Otherwise, either way, it would help the algorithm. And then, other than that, I'm going to congratulate Team Comuna again for winning this. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to see you soon.